Hey, y'all, and welcome to another episode of the Millennial Management Podcast. I'm your host, Brandy, the Millennial Manager, and today is Monday. If you are inside of Patreon, if you are not inside of Patreon, it is Wednesday, and I want to say thank you to everyone who purchased a ticket to our virtual live podcast event. Y'all, it was so much fun. We really had a good time. It was so nice just being like one-on-one with everybody. It was amazing. And so I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who participated. I can't wait to do it again. I think maybe in a couple months we'll do it again, but it was so much fun, y'all. I just am so thankful and appreciative to everyone who pulled up. And today we are going to be going over a few emails. So let's start with our first one. This one says, "Hey Brandy, hey boo. My name is Benny and I am your number one fan." Benny, thank you, boo. I appreciate you very, very much. And he continues, it says, "I love your podcast. I've been an avid listener. Your advice is always insightful. So I wanted to take on a frustrating leadership situation that I'm currently dealing with." Okay, let's see what's going on. "I'm currently a area manager overseeing 10 locations. Before I was hired, one of my site directors applied for my position but did not get it. However, instead of transitioning into her original role, she has been acting as the interim area manager, running the district and overseeing the very site directors I was hired to manage." Stupid as hell, I know. You took the words right out of my mouth. Because if I don't get the position, I'm not doing the fucking work, okay? So that lady's stupid, but let's continue. "Once I finished training, leadership told her to return to her site director role, but here's the issue. My site director continues to report to her instead of me. She still makes decisions and manages the whole district without looping me in. My regional manager acknowledges that this is a problem, but refuses to enforce the reporting structure. When I had a meeting with me, her, and my regional manager, she blew up, yelled, expressed frustration that she was no longer running the district. Instead of holding firm, my regional catered to her and basically allowed the dynamic to continue. I've done everything: direct conversations, a team-wide email clarifying the structure, one-on-ones with my supervisor, even escalating things up to HR, but nothing has changed, and it's making it impossible for me to do my job effectively." I know it is. At this point, I'm questioning whether this is the right organization for me. If leadership is this weak in enforcing boundaries, is it even worth continuing the fight? Should I keep pushing for change or start planning my exit? I'd love your advice. Benny, baby, you answered this on your own, honey, okay? First of all, you have a manager that does not have a backbone, or your directors don't have a backbone. They have no ability to correct someone who is clearly overstepping. Now, in this woman's defense, they did the wrong thing by allowing her to work in the position as the interim and still letting her stay on. So in her mind, she's still responsible for these things. And sadly, because they chose somebody else that's on the outside, she probably is feeling like, well, you took this from me or whatever. And she doesn't want to give up. She doesn't want to let go. Not saying that is right. I'm not saying she's right. I'm just saying I understand the stupidity why she's doing what she's doing. As far as your leadership is concerned, if you have a leader who cannot draw the lines in the sand, they cannot follow the proper procedures, they don't make sure that everyone is aware we are all on the same page and this is how we're going to operate, and every time somebody get an attitude, they give in, that is not leadership that I want to be under any fucking way. It's not going to be a good experience. Even past this shit, there are going to be other things that happen inside of this organization where they are not going to be able to tackle them. Okay, this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is just the beginning. You ain't even been in this shit for that long. This is just the beginning. So what you need to do is prepare your exit. Understand? If you got to ride it out just for a couple months, make her think that you are just so grateful, so appreciative just for the peace of mind. But yeah, I appreciate you doing that. Thank you. Just until you can get your foot somewhere else. do what you need to do. You ain't been there that long. So either this job is a sabbatical. Y'all understand what the hell I'm saying? Okay? It don't exist on your resume. It did not happen. You've been on sabbatical since you left your previous position. This job does not exist. Okay? If you decide to leave before you have been there for 6 months to a year. Now, what have we learned? When you join a organization, okay, and there's already a pecking order, we need to clarify right then in the interview. Is there someone in this position currently? Is there someone acting in the interim? Like, what is the dynamic after you've been offered the position before you say yes? Ask that question, because that lets you know what that is going to look like for you. If there's going to be a hurdle, if there's going to be an issue for you to move forward in the position and really take it as your own. So for everyone who is listening, we are not going to say yes to a position like this. We're going to ask that question. Once the job is offered to us, we need to ask, is there someone acting as the director in the interim? Like, is there anyone else filling this role? I wish you the absolute best of luck, and I really hope for that woman's sake that she also finds something that they want her to do, because clearly they did not want her in this position, but she is like stuck that this is my thing. And a while back we did a podcast email episode where there was an email from a listener, and they were basically the woman in this situation where a position had been given to somebody else and they were kind of upset. But it's just like, y'all, if they show you they don't want you, move on. Okay? You can't be hell for the person who's coming in. This is not their fault. This is the company's fault because they're unorganized. They don't have any structure. There's nothing laid out that clearly defines what the roles and responsibilities are. And so I just hope both of you find something that is going to be befitting, and that she realized that they used her in a terrible way. Our next email is coming from Betty. It says, I've been working in mental health for 12 years, starting as a DSP, then becoming a lead DSP, a supervisor, and even a scheduler supervisor for home health. Currently, I'm working as a overnight DSP, and lately I feel like I'm being harassed at work. We don't have leads here. Instead, we have peer review team member, okay, PRT. DSPs who aren't paid extra but are supposed to review their colleagues. Every shift, I complete all the tasks and take care of my clients, which is challenging because they all suffer severe mental issues. This often means my 10-hour shift turns into a 12-hour shift. One specific PRT constantly singles me out. She follows me around and tells me I'm not following or completing tasks. With private messages on Teams, she doesn't do any of this with any of the other coworkers in the same house. She's not my supervisor, and my supervisor won't do anything about her behavior. I've tried to ignore her messages and random pictures that she sends, but it doesn't stop. One day, she even showed up while I was finishing up my last patient or finishing up my last task and yelled, "Hello," very loud, while I was cleaning, questioning why I was cleaning that night or at night. There are cameras in all of the houses, and she repeatedly told me in messages that she watches me on them. And then she started ranting about my cleaning and work ethic. I just listened and continued mopping. She then got upset and asked if she was talking to herself. I would have said, hell motherfucking yeah. Yes, I replied that I answered her questions and that everything she said was her opinion. She got angry and stormed out. Because she wanted to argue with you. This isn't the first time that this has happened. Lots of people are leaving the company because how they are treated. I was even attacked by a client multiple times, and the company did nothing. Oh, hell no. I'm taking advice from friends and family and applying for HR roles because of my experience. I'm nervous because I don't have a bachelor's degree. baby, that ain't gonna stop shit. But you need to apply for some other jobs, because what the fuck? You getting beat up by these dumb ass coworkers, and then patients who may not be able to control themselves, but they don't have enough staff either to make sure that this situation does not happen. That is dangerous. And this little girl seemed like she drunk with power, y'all. Y'all know about people who have no power, and then you give them just a little bit, it's like crack. They just can't help themselves. They drunk on it. They high on it. And if they have somebody that they feel like is a target, they are going to target and harass you. You are absolutely right that this woman is harassing you in the workplace. I do agree with how you handled it. Good job for you keeping your composure. And she got mad because she didn't get the response that she wanted. She wanted somebody to argue and fight with, and you're not giving her that. So she was pissed off because she didn't have somebody that she can argue with that day. And let's talk about the overall company culture. I mean, they just don't want to pay anybody to be managers, leads, or whatever. So they pay people in illusion of power, meaning I'm giving you the illusion that you have a little bit of power, but really you can't do shit. You have no authority. All you can do is review me. You can't fire me. You can't terminate me. And some people will trade in actual money just for the illusion of authority, when really they ass ain't got nothing at all. And that ain't even somewhere that I would find to be attractive. So your friends and your family telling you to get out of this situation, they are absolutely correct. Okay? This little girl is drunk on not even real power. It's the illusion. This is not even real authority that she has. She just able to watch somebody. And that's all you really can do. And what kind of shit is that? Who the fuck would trade in money for the illusion? Come on now. Come on now. Give me some money. If you want me to be watching people and making sure people do their things and all that, you need to pay me. Okay? But some people, they ain't got no real power in their personal life. So when they come to work, even the illusion is better than none at all. Okay, baby? So get the hell up out of there. And our next email is coming from Betty. This one says, Miss Brandy, I am an African American woman. I work for the federal child care facility where I am a program lead. My administration harassed me while I was out on sick leave with phone calls and then proceeded to try apologizing the next day in a meeting. In this meeting, my white director referred to me as a monkey 3 times. I filed a complaint with the EEOC, okay? It's been a month now with no movement, and I still have to talk to this person every day as a part of my job, and she has still been picking on me in small ways. What should I do? I've heard that the EEO process is very slow, and that's horrible. Any advice? Well, first of all, that is correct. When you file a complaint with EEO or EEOC, as a lot of people call it, it takes a long ass time. Okay? It is a long time. And let's go through the steps. Okay? So number one, you have to send your claim over to the EEOC. Okay. And they determine whether or not some type of discrimination has happened by your race, your color, religion, sex, pregnancy, sexual orientation, gender identity, your age, disability, like all those things are covered with the EEOC and discrimination laws. Okay. Or employment discrimination laws. Now, once you get to step 2, this is your gathering of your information. You are going to gather up whatever evidence, whatever pertinent information that is necessary to support your claim of discrimination. You need to gather all of that. And this is why I be telling y'all documentation is very important. I don't know if you have had any other instances with this woman, but if you did, you had better written it down. Okay, the date, the time, what she wore, who else was around when it was said, like all those things. It has to be very detailed when you are trying to prove discrimination. Okay, then It must meet the time limits. It says you must file your charge within 180 days of the alleged discrimination. This deadline is exceeded to 300 days or extended to 300 days if a state or local agency enforces law prohibiting this type of discrimination. So you basically have 6 months to a year, okay, to file this claim. But I would not wait past that 180 days, okay? Because there are a lot of loopholes when you come to state laws and discrimination depending on where you live. The next thing, you are going to file your charge of discrimination. You can file your charge online. At least you could, okay? Because we know what them people got going on up in there. We don't know if that's the case. Or you can call. Now, I would not pick up my phone and call the EEOC, because you are either likely to be put on hold in a queue for a very long time, and they stop taking calls at a certain time of day. So you might mess around and miss them entirely. So it'll be better to try to submit it online if you can. Okay. Now, once the EEOC decides they're going to investigate your claim after you file, they're going to notify your employer. Okay. Not you. You don't have to say nothing. The EEOC is going to notify them that a case has been opened and they will begin investigation. They are going to interview everybody, witnesses. They're going to gather even more documentation, and they're even going to attempt to mediate a settlement between you and your employer. Okay? Now, once we get to this last step, this is where things kind of can be put in your court of whether or not you need to actually take this to court and file your own lawsuit. Now, if the EEOC finds that discrimination has occurred, they may attempt to mediate, okay, a lawsuit between you and your employer. Or if they do not find discrimination, they will issue you a right to sue notice. Now, the right to sue notice is what is going to allow you to be able to file your own lawsuit, meaning that you can now take this to an attorney. Okay, so while it is a lot of steps and it could be a long time in this process, it's worth it. Okay, especially if you know that you have documentation to support it. When you receive that right to sue, you can decide to take it to an attorney. Now, if you want to try to skip all this and go directly to an attorney, because you can, okay, you just going through the EEOC because they may be able to represent you against your employer. It's not necessarily like you have to go through them, but I will always start with an attorney just to kind of get an idea of whether or not I actually have a case. But if you want to utilize the EEOC and you're okay with waiting that amount of time, then do it. Okay, if you don't want to go through maybe the financial burden of having an attorney, this is another reason why it takes so long for you to try to get a result, because this is all done through public funds. Okay, so that is the process of going through the EEOC. As far as your situation, ma'am, you need to stay the course. And while you are waiting, you need to be documenting everything that she says to you. And you need to make sure you list people's names who are in the space. Do not ever be with her, just you and her. Always try to have a conversation, if she tries to, with someone that is around you. Like, it needs to be a third party so that you can list them as somebody that heard her say this, or they were around when things were said that were inappropriate or made you feel uncomfortable, or, whatever. Now, there are multiple ways for you to get in contact with the EEOC. You can go by phone, you can go online, you can do in person, or you can do by snail mail. Okay, but you have those options. And I want to include the phone number to the EEOC. I went to the website. It is still available. I'm not being funny, but y'all know we just don't really know what's going on right now. Okay, the phone number is 1-800-669-4000. And you can call and speak to a representative, or they're going to give you some other options of what you can do to file your charge, okay, with the EEOC. I wish you the best of luck in this situation. I really hope it works in your favor. Thank y'all so much for listening to the podcast today. I hope y'all have a wonderful day. For Patreon, I really appreciate y'all rocking with me. Thank you very, very much. And y'all have a wonderful, wonderful evening or day or whatever time you're listening to this. Thank you so much. Y'all have a good one, and I'll see y'all on the internet. Bye-bye.
This is a mini meditation guided by Bombas. Repeat after me. I'm comfy. I'm cozy. I have 0 blisters on my toes. And that's because I wear Bombas, the softest socks, underwear, and t-shirts that give back. One purchased equals one donated. Now go to bombas.com/listen and use code LISTEN for 20% off your first purchase. That's bombas.com/listen and use code LISTEN at checkout.
Big news. Wayfair's President's Day clearance is on. Right now through February 18th, get up to 70% off everything home with free and easy delivery straight to your door. It's kind of like a present from Wayfair. President's Day? Okay, we'll keep workshopping that. And while we're workshopping, you should be real shopping at Wayfair. Like now, before it's too late. Save on quality furniture for every room in the house. Appliances, mattresses, cookware, home decor, rugs, wall art, sofas, spatulas, table lamps, toaster ovens, dining sets, outdoor sheds, and... you get the idea. Trust us, this is the sale to score amazing end-of-season savings at Wayfair. And the bow on top of Wayfair's President's Day deals? Free and easy delivery straight to your door. Now that's a present. So don't wait. Shop Wayfair's President's Day clearance right now through February 18th at wayfair.com and save up to 70% off Wayfair's best deals since Black Friday.
Wayfair, every style, every home.